Hey guys, thank you for joining me for another devlog. It's been a while and a lot has changed, so I'm not going to cover everything that's changed here. I'll do it over a few videos. Last time we talked about the technical challenges of feeding back interactability to the player. In this devlog I'd like to talk about, I guess, more the logistics of that system and how interactions work under the hood. So the main objective, I guess, of an interaction system is that it needs to be as generic as possible. We ideally don't want to have to lay code down for every interaction that goes on, mainly because that's inefficient and those inefficiencies can influence your decisions as a designer, right? If you need to do more work to add a particular interaction, you're likely to be pushed in another direction, which might not be best. Having to put down code for everything also increases the likelihood of you tightly coupling systems together. Ideally, we want a system whereby one of our objects can tell another that it should do something without the code for those objects having any relationship with each other. Luckily, Godot has such a system that is perfect for this, called signals. More broadly, signals are an implementation of what's called the observer pattern, which is just object A telling object B that it's interested in when it does something, and object B promising to tell object A every time it does it. So, for instance, a door might ask a keypad to let it know when the correct code is entered so that it can unlock. The Godot editor allows us to link those two objects together without any code. In fact, you can see that exact configuration here. If I enter the correct code here, you can see that the door unlocks and will now open for me. If we look in the editor, you can see that I've connected the correct code entered signal that the keypad emits to the unlock function of the door. You can think of this in the same way that some keypads work in real life. When the correct code is entered, it literally sends an electrical signal to a particular pin on the back, which can then do whatever you want the keypad to mess with. What's great about this is that the keypad can literally do anything. It can unlock doors, but it can activate this healing pad you see here, or even explode one of these gas canisters, despite that making no sense. This signal system is the backbone of all the systems in the game. For instance, when this pipe is damaged by something, it has a node called a damage receiver, which emits a signal saying where it's been damaged and by what. The gas pipe can then instantiate a fire jet at that point. The exact same configuration is used here for the glass breaking. The damage receiver emits a signal so that the glass can decide if it wants to break and how, and then the glass pane itself also emits a signal to say it's been broken, which could then be attached to an alarm without any additional code. Enemies will also get this same damage receiver node, and they can listen for the damage signal and decide how much health to subtract based on the type and the magnitude of the damage applied. But these are all kind of emergent interactions. What about pressing U's on stuff? My approach here is to embrace Godot's node system itself and make each interaction its own node. We can see this if we check out this apple scene. You can see that there are two nodes as children of this prop node called pick up and eat. These nodes are assigned keys, whether you need to hold the button to activate them and stuff like that, but they don't actually do anything themselves. When we mouse over the item, the UI scans for these nodes and adds them to the UI, and then when we trigger the interaction by pressing the button, the node itself just emits a signal to say that it's been activated. It's then the responsibility of the main node to listen for that signal and act accordingly. In this case, either by adding the apple to the inventory or eating it and healing the player a bit. So that's basically how I'm going to build an immersive world with that ImSim brand of emergent gameplay. I'm hoping that front-loading all this work on a flexible system will encourage some interesting map design, but I guess we'll have to find out. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you next time.